Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here today to have a bit of a discussion, some food for thought this Monday as we kind of get ready to move into the week. I was taking a break from streaming today, really playing some catch-up, just kind of reassessing things, looking at some of my outlines for Titanfall content, maybe reworking some things, reworking the Kraber guide, and all in all, this weekend, I really just took a break from Titanfall 2. I stepped away from the game for a little bit so I could kind of just look at the bigger picture for things in terms of my Titanfall content, reassess the situation. That really got me thinking quite a bit about, the idea of moderation, I guess the idea of overconsumption, and how that I could make that into a little bit of a discussion. Again, some food for thought, something that really provokes you guys, that really gets you thinking about where you currently are when it comes to Titanfall 2, but also a discussion that can be applied well outside of Titanfall to other games, pretty much to anything in life that you consume as a form of entertainment, whether it's movies, maybe even food. There's reference for food here. Things in life that make you feel good. Things that fill you with some sort of a positive mood. They tend to be very addictive, is the best way to put it. Video games very much sit on that list. Therefore, it's really quite easy to overconsume them, to go on a binge, and I think that is something that it's kind of becoming ingrained, very common in our society. There's lots of even jokes about, binging Netflix, sitting down, just this constant sense of overindulgence and overconsumption, which I personally don't feel it's healthy. And I think at the end of the day, it does more harm than good. You may really enjoy playing Titanfall for 6 hours a day, every single day for the last 4 months, but you will eventually hit a wall. You'll hit a wall where you took a game that you once loved and you've now turned it into something completely different. You won't see Titanfall 2 like you once did. Those small cracks in the game, those flaws will become giant fissures, just exploding with liquid hot hate. And that hate will start to quickly suck all of the love and passion you had for the game out of you. The smallest of things, the smallest of balance issues, the smallest flaw here and there, it'll just overwhelm you each and every time you play the game. And I've seen this happen time and time again with whole communities. Destiny, MMOs like World of Warcraft, these are games that are ripe for this type of experience because they are games, unlike Titanfall 2, that are actually designed to put the player in that sort of a position, to make you reach peak levels of love and hate with the game. They have padding, they have built-in repetition to really, in some ways, encourage a player to play the game till the breaking point, to play the game until they reach that point where they just say, man, what do I actually love about this game anymore? If there was anything that I did love about said game, it's buried now by all the things that I simply can't stand. Fortunately, with a game like Titanfall 2, we don't have that built-in repetition, and there's no reason to keep playing Titanfall again and again and again. You're not going to get any rewards or gear or equipment, so there's no sort of unlock or progression system caked in that directly rewards you with guns, for example. Obviously, you play to a certain point, you unlock equipment. After that, which is a very short period of time in Titanfall 2, you are playing purely because you want to play. You're playing because you enjoy the core gameplay experience that Titanfall 2 has to offer. So it's up to us as individuals at that point to really enable, to activate our own sense of moderation, to really find a position to say, hey, you know what? I think I've actually been playing a bit too much Titanfall. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here today to be like a dad or a mom figure and tell you, get outside and, stop playing video games. That's not at all what this is about. It's just that I so often see this day and age where overconsumption takes people, where overconsumption can possibly take an entire community. And I think everything that happened with Destiny is a prime example of that. People just unwilling to just step away and admit that they didn't need to be playing the game anymore, that they needed to just walk away from it. And in the case of a game like Titanfall, I'm already starting to see people in my comments section, especially when we do state of the game, when we do news stuff, they've gone past the breaking point. These are people who are so incredibly frustrated with the smallest balance issues and elements of the game that they're just off the deep end. I've seen people cursing out developers and sending threats to them. These are people who have reached that breaking point and gone well beyond it. I just don't want to see anyone there, and I get asked a lot, actually, Tony, why don't you regen? That's the most common question. 50 people on the stream a day, people on the YouTube comment, why don't you regen? Why don't you regen? I don't play the game as much as many of you probably do. As someone who makes YouTube content, who creates for games, I learned a long time ago. I learned a lot in the last 4.5 years, trust me, that moderation is excessively important when it comes to your favorite games, and it's even more important when you plan on creating content for said games. Overindulging, over-consuming, as a creator can lead to just basic burnout. You get to the point where, wow, I don't want to play this game at all anymore, and I have an audience that exists pretty much solely to see me make content for this game, and now I've ran myself to the ragged edge. I don't want to think about it. I have no enthusiasm. I practically hate the game. Why would I want to make any sort of content for it? And if I did, I know it would turn out to be rubbish. That's not a place that I want to put myself in. So no, I'm not looking to get 12 days of Titanfall 2 played. I don't care about getting max gen. That's not why I play video games. And again, I've learned a long time ago that that is not the healthy way to indulge and to enjoy the experiences that we love. Everything in moderation, even moderation. So that is just a little bit about what I wanted to talk about. A bit of a send-off for you guys this week. Something that I just want you guys to consider. Again, that food for thought. Really think about what I said here. Consider the current position you're in. Maybe a lot of you have experienced something similar, again, with past games. Maybe it was Destiny, World of Warcraft, other first-person shooters, Counter-Strike, Halo. It doesn't matter. It's possible to do it with anything. I think that we need to reach a point where we stop treating entertainment like we do and treat it more like our favorite foods, for example. I think that I go back to food so often because it's a really great reference point. I may sit here and say, man, I love my homemade buffalo chicken wing pizza. I love it to death. It's so good. I love it so much I could eat it every single day. But I damn well know that if I ate it every day, even for just one meal or even just one slice a day, I'd be sick of it in 3 days. I wouldn't want anything to do with it for weeks, possibly months. When we look at entertainment in that way, and when we start to really focus on the moderation, not just the consumption of overall entertainment, but again, the consumption of individual pieces of entertainment, individual experiences, I strongly believe that those experiences, those pieces of entertainment, video games or otherwise, will have so much more value to us when we don't just run them into the ground, when we don't extract all of their value and bury it with the flaws and the disdain that we will build within ourselves. Doing that I think it's been 2 years since I've really focused myself into a position like that. I've just come to such a greater appreciation for video games, for the design that goes into them, to the effort that goes in from the developers, to the issues that the developers have to face. There's just a lot more in games to really look at and to say, wow, that's special. But you can only really see that when you learn to focus on that moderation. So again, just something for you guys to think about. Not really my best discussion in terms of construction, but again here, I just really wanted to give you guys some food for thought for the week ahead, because I'm seeing a lot of people in the position that I'm talking about. Maybe you're one of those people. Maybe you've been one of those people in the past. I really want to have you guys share your stories if that's something you're comfortable with. Talk about your experience, talk about maybe the position you're in right now. Let me know. Just I feel it's something that's healthy to discuss. I think as humans as a whole, the idea, the overconsumption of entertainment is something that we really need to look at. There's just a lot of negatives there, and there's a lot of positives that can come, again, from that focus on healthy moderation, healthy consumption levels. And for me, it's like, why not start with the game that I love to play, Titanfall 2? So that's what we did today. Let me know down in the comment section below. Feel free to get involved in the discussion. I hope you guys have a great week ahead. Of course, play some Titanfall 2. I'm not saying let's stop playing Titanfall 2. I'm not saying let's all abandon video games and forget everything that you love. I'm just talking about healthy consumption here. As it turns out, I'm still working on that new closer, so I'll see you in the next one.